All right, folks, welcome back. We are getting closer and closer to the moment that we all have been waiting for.
And I got to tell you, here at the WLTX studios off of Gardner's Ferry Road, we finally got some sunshine. We got rain and cloud cover, and praise Jesus, we are getting a beautiful view of the eclipse right now. So put on your glasses and look at it safely, and you can see, really, there's just a sliver. It might be, wait, let me refer to my terms that make me sound smart. It might be Bailey's beads or totality. We are heading in towards totality. We've got Bailey's beads. Now everyone's seeing that the sunshine all of our friends from inside WLTX are outside right now staring at the sun. Make sure to look for a couple minutes with your glasses, then pass them to a friend if you don't all have the proper viewing glasses, and each enjoy a couple minutes.
We know how difficult it was to find glasses, and we know some people were concerned that the glasses were not safe. But that's why hashtag share a pair started trending on Twitter, because it's not just us, it's people all over the country that were having a difficult time finding these solar eclipse glasses. This is the view from the rooftop of WLTX. Our chief engineer is there manning the camera, and so you're seeing this just as we are seeing this here at WLTX.
Oh, it's so exciting. Many of you, including myself, we've never seen a total solar eclipse before. The last time we had a good view here in the Midlands was on March 7th, 1970. Now, there's a couple total solar eclipses coming up, but it depends where you live. There's going to be another April 8th, 2024, and then one in 2045 after that. So basically, enjoy this, because there is a good chance this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you. And Darcy, we should talk about cell phones. We gotten a lot of calls from people asking us, is it okay to take pictures, or will it ruin your phone?
And the bottom line, it is safe to use your phone. And if you have serious concerns about whether or not your lens will be damaged, you can take your Eclipse glasses and use it as a filter on the lens of your cell phone, and so that way you know that you're protecting your phone. But what we've heard from the experts, our social media expert Roshonda Pratt, who is also our morning show executive producer, has talked to the people who do this every day, and they say there's not a whole lot for you to worry about.
And just a little quick astronomy lesson for you. I'm sure you probably know this, but a solar eclipse is a perfect lineup of the sun, the moon, and the earth. The moon is going to go directly between the sun and the earth, casting a shadow on our planet. And if you're in the dark part of the shadow, the umbra, you're going to see a total solar eclipse. And we know that is where we are here in Columbia, South Carolina, which is why so many people have traveled to our beautiful state. Darcy, at all of our different posts, we've talked to people from England. We talked to a couple from Russia. We've talked to a group from Dubai. And we knew it was going to be like this. And you can already tell right now that eerie feeling of darkness is sort of happening, where it feels like it's nighttime in the middle of the day, just like you said.
And here's the thing that we want you guys to know. When 241 hits, Darcy and Andrea will not be talking anymore.
No.
Because, again, as we mentioned, this, for a lot of people, is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And so we, at 241, are going to stop talking for that 2 minutes and 30 seconds or so. Chief Meteorologist Jim Gandy, though, he wants to be a part of this right now.
He is our expert. NASA has declared him a subject matter expert. We are going to send things out to Jim Gandy at the Riverbank Zoo and Botanical Gardens.
We are going to see totality, but look at this. The plaza is filling up now with people that are coming out to view the eclipse, but more importantly, if Nick can kind of catch some of these shadows down here, the shadows are getting sharper. This is a phenomena that we often see right before totality occurs, and you can see how sharp some of these shadows are. We're from an elevated position, so we can tell that, but now the crowd is filling into the plaza. They're filling into all the places here at the zoo where you can see the sun. Everybody, there's a buzz going on here at the zoo. And not only that, but where we are here at the plaza, we are completely clear directly above us, and we are going to see totality. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Jim. Darcy and I had just removed ourselves from the back of our desk here because we are enjoying the view here at the WLTX News 19 studios with our special glasses.
We didn't want to miss it.
We didn't want to miss it. If you still want to make sure your glasses are safe, you can check out all of the approved manufacturers. We've got those lists on our website. Our News 19 glasses that we passed out were from Rainbow Symphony Incorporated. Or no, actually, these are the City of Columbia. Yeah.
Yes, these are the ones from the City of Columbia. We've got a couple of different pairs floating around, but the bottom line is that you can go and check right now. Better to be safe than sorry to know that your glasses are the right ones. But here's the thing. In 10 minutes, you won't even need your glasses, because at that time of totality, that's when you can view for 2 minutes and 30 seconds without using your glasses at all. But as soon as that 2:30 is over, you've got to put them back on.
I gotta wonder, where are all these people behind us driving to? When I expected that traffic was going to slow down or at least come to a halt because we are 10 minutes away from totality. Where are y'all going?
Maybe they're trying to rush to get someplace.
Where y'all going? Why aren't you at
I
your
don't
party?
know. They're trying to get there. They're
get
trying
somewhere.
to get there. And here's the other thing that we've heard from law enforcement: do not drive with these glasses on. We know a lot of you are not sitting in front of your TV watching us. You're either watching us on Facebook or you're following us on Twitter. You're using social media and our app to keep up with what's going on. But do not, under any circumstance, wear these glasses and try to drive or even walk
around
because you can't see with them on.
Yeah, we shot some promos with these glasses on this week, and even in the bright studio, we couldn't see. One other quick note as we talk about all the folks driving behind us. The South Carolina Highway Patrol has asked that you not pull over on the side of the interstate. If you have friends, you know they're driving on 77, on 26 right now, on 20, get to a parking lot, get to someplace safe to view the totality, because we are just about 10 minutes away from it now. And I got to say, Darcy, this is pretty cool.
Well, you know, here's what I'm thinking too.
It's
getting
creepy.
dark.
It's getting cool. I can definitely feel that the temperature has dropped significantly.
Right. And I'm looking at our amazing production team behind the camera and all the folks who are in the station right now. And I'm thinking, did anybody bring us lights for when this goes dark?
No, we're just going to all be in darkness.
Okay, it's fine though. It's fine. We'll live in the moment.
Can we get a shot of our group here gathered at WLTX? Everybody wave to the camera. These are a lot of faithful WLTX employees that have been out here. Girls, wave to the camera now. Darcy's babies are here. Brady's still here. And all of our good friends. There's Delaney, our producer, and Keisha. A lot of the sales team is here. Keely's here. I'm so excited to be enjoying the eclipse with everybody.
And we're all wearing our WLTX t-shirts. We've got Columbia Solar Eclipse 2017 t-shirts because, I mean, when it's this big of a deal, you got to make a t-shirt, right?
You gotta have a special t-shirt. We thought this was pretty interesting. If you're wondering where the very last place the eclipse is going to hit, it's actually in South Carolina. This is the last bit of land in the United States. The center line's last contact point in the U.S. occurs in the Atlantic Ocean's edge in just southeast of Key Bay, South Carolina. It is not a populated area, but that's the last place in the U.S. that's going to have a great view. Everybody came here to South Carolina, to Columbia, because we have the best view. For example, Darcy, Atlanta only has a 97% view, whereas we're going to be at 100%. Some of the other big cities, Chicago, only 87%. Detroit, 79%. Los Angeles, only a 62% view. New York City, only a 72% view. So a lot of folks have traveled down here to the Midlands to be able to come and view the total solar eclipse, which we are now just minutes away from.
Yeah, we heard at least 500,000 extra people should be expected to be in the Midlands from over the weekend into tomorrow. So expect to see a little extra traffic this afternoon and this evening. Pack your patience, because we've got folks, again, traveling from all over the world who wanted to come to Columbia because this, as Andrea just said, is one of the best places in the world to see this total solar eclipse.
South Carolina, Ground Zero, Greenville, another place in South Carolina that has the perfect view. And did you just say pack your patience? Because you're such a mama.
I did.
I did.
Patience. I sometimes say that to the girls. Pack your patience.
One thing we want to remind you, when the solar eclipse totality happens, we have these beautiful live cameras. We are not going to be talking for that entire 2 minutes and 30 seconds because we really want you to be able to enjoy the moment. For any of your friends that are at work right now not able to enjoy this, make sure you call them up and tell them to jump on the WLTX app or jump on WLTX.com, because we are live streaming that beautiful camera that you're taking a look at right now as we move from Diamond's ring into Bailey's beads.
Right.
Because I'm an astronomical expert.
At this point you are, and if nothing else, you've got a script that tells you all of these different steps. Yeah, which makes you the expert at this point. But this is just an amazing picture. Again, it's right here on top of our station here at WLTX. As you can see, our chief photographer is making some adjustments. And
it's raining
on
us
point,
again.
The rain has started to come down again.
Let's move back.
So we're going to scoot back just
scoot on back inside our tent. The great thing about being inside a tent, you guys, is that we have a little bit of cover from the rain. The bad thing about being inside of a tent is nobody thought to cut us an eclipse hole at the top at the top of this tent, so we actually can't see. Nobody has been more excited for this eclipse than South Carolina's weatherman, Darcy. There's a reason he's called that, and even this week he was honored by NASA.
He was honored by NASA. I believe it was this week as well that he was in Time Magazine. Everybody wants to know what Jim Gandy has to say about the eclipse. He's at Riverbank Zoo with more. Jim.
Well, I can see it in my glasses.
Oh, let me tell you, the seals have started to react to the darkness that is coming on here at Riverbank Zoo. And I can tell you right now, we are definitely going to see totality, which is now in about 4 minutes. Nick, if you can kind of show the crowd, it just continues to build. I mean, pretty soon there won't be any way that you can walk here at Riverbank Zoo in the
And
plaza.
we really are in the perfect spot because this is an area where there are no clouds at all.
You know, I couldn't have planned this better myself.
Exactly. And that's why you're South Carolina's weatherman.
You know, if you want to see an eclipse, you better be where I am.
Right, exactly. There are thousands of people out here at the plaza. I know Nick is showing people right now already looking through their solar eclipse viewing glasses and just seeing this eclipse come to fruition. We've been talking about this for a year now and really been pumping this up for months.
You know, I don't know.
Seeing this is great.
I don't know if they can hear the seals carrying on in the background.
Oh, yeah.
They are definitely making a noise back there, and this is something that they actually were kind of expecting.
With animals reacting, and as the zoo is doing research on a lot of the animals here to see how they react to the eclipse.
Yeah, but for those of you who decided to come to the zoo to view the eclipse, this was the right call because it is just fantastic. And as we have been saying all along, the clouds would, you know, if they didn't build up too much, the clouds would begin to dissipate. They've been dissipating for the past hour. I can still see the clouds back over the city, and they've built up too much. They're not going to dissipate. So those people are going to get robbed of totality. But all of these clouds around us, and particularly overhead, have all dissipated. We have definitely noticed a dip in the temperature. That is cutting off the convection to form these clouds. And so we are left with nothing but clear skies directly over us, and it's getting darker and darker. And we are 1 minute away, 1 minute to totality.
I'm so excited.
Oh, this is exciting. You know, and you know, we've been telling everybody for a long time that there is a big difference between 99.9% and 100%. It is the difference between night and day. So from my research, when we hit totality, it's just going to be a wave of darkness that comes across the area. We've still got a little bit of light. The neat thing is that about 20 minutes ago, we started seeing our shadows get real sharp and distinct. Oh, I mean, this is incredible. And so you can see how our shadows are, and I'm being told we're really close now to totality.
It's about that time. It's about that time.
I'm going to take a quick picture to kind of see where things are going. Now, I think we still... Here we've got it's still a little bit here at Riverbank Zoo.
Slither, like
just
a fingernail.
It's only going to be a little bit of time.
Oh wow!
Before we are at totality here, and I think it's amazing how fast it has gotten cloudy. Dark in this area, and wow, the crowd here is just.
Everyone is looking up.
Okay, they tell me that the Bailey beads are forming now.
Okay.
So we are just moments away from the eclipse, and we're just going to sit back. We're going to enjoy the eclipse, and we hope that you enjoy this eclipse as well. Okay, man, jeez. You know, I've been doing this a long time, and
Nothing like that.
nothing like it.
Ever. I think we both got pretty emotional there.
Yeah.
I'm still emotional right now. It was amazing. You saw it. Totality is completely different from 99%, which is where we were for a couple minutes there.
Back in 1970, I was 3% away from totality, but this time, it's hard to explain.
Yeah. It was one of those things you just had to be in the moment.
Yeah.
I tried to take a picture with my phone.
You know,
it didn't work.
And the 2.5 minutes just went by so fast.
It did.
And we were just looking at everybody, trying to appreciate everything going on. It's just hard to put into words. Totality.
Yeah.
Well, let's get somebody
Yeah, I'm gonna
else's
say,
reaction.
when can we see it again? Right. See our reaction.
Why don't you come here? Why don't you give us your name again?
Jasmine,
And what are your thoughts about totality?
I thought the eclipse was really cool.
Really cool. Are you ready to see another one?
Yes.
Oh man! How about how fast it got dark?
That was surprising because I didn't think it would get dark that fast.
No, I think we're going to find when the observing teams get their research that there were a lot of animals that weren't prepared for totality any more than we were.
Right. We thought we were prepared.
Thank you for coming by. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
You could just hear everyone cheering as right when totality began. You heard everyone cheering, everyone clapping, some oohs and ahs out 100%.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. And
I know that there are people that missed it because of the clouds, and it was always going to be a crapshoot around here because we knew it was going to be partly cloudy. We were always afraid that there would be enough buildups. We were always afraid that there would be enough buildups that it would hide the eclipse from some people. But here at Riverbank Zoo,
everyone saw it.
Everybody saw total eclipse. So we're going to send things over to Efren right now.
Gather ourselves.
So Efren, take it away.
I'll tell you, Jim, I really have there's no words to describe. I actually have a lump in my throat. We're in the second half of the partial eclipse, and you can't help but to be emotional. This is the partial eclipse. Right now on our NASA view screen, we actually see now that the totality has now moved off the coast of Charleston. Take a look at our NASA and Jet Propulsion Laboratory animation. Right now, you can see that the moon, where it says total, is just off of the coast of Charleston County. It is now over water, and the animation shows of what we're actually looking at here in Columbia, where we are now in the second half of the partial eclipse. And the beautiful thing about it is that now all of the United States have seen the partial eclipse to the total eclipse. And now we're in the second half of the partial eclipse. And the time right now is about to turn 2:51. And for the Midlands, we are going to continue into the partial phase where we're going to see less and less of the partial eclipse until between 4:05 and 4:08, depending on whether you're in Newberry or in Utahville. So we still have a lot of partial eclipse to be seen. The really interesting thing on radar, though, is that we saw that the showers started to develop, and as they continue to develop, we saw a lot of cloud coverage, and then only one spot. We got 10 crews out there, then here at the station, the only one spot we actually saw the rain coming down was right here at the News 19 station. But once we got to the eclipse, we looked to the west, and you could see how beautiful and how dark it really got. So keep in mind, it is 2:51. We still have more partial eclipse to go through until 4:06 this afternoon. We're going to take a short break right now. Enjoy the eclipse because we still quite a bit of it to go. You're watching News 19. Its time is 2:51.
Southeast part of Richland County. Unfortunately, we had to deal with a little rain, and now we're back in the studio. But my goodness, even the rain and the clouds could not take away from how an amazing and awesome display of nature this was to see.
I have to say this, I am so thankful for our WLTX feed, because if it was not for the feed, those of us here in the southeast part of Columbia would not have seen it, because for whatever reason, Darcy, right when we hit totality, the skies opened up and we got a quick blast of rain into a downpour. So we were able to see it on our News 19 cameras. This is posted right up on the rooftop here at the News 19 studios. We have a special lens on the camera, as now we see that the moon is slowly moving out of the path of the sun. More and more of the sun is going to become visible. But I'll tell you what, Darcy, the experts were right. The temperature did drop about 15 degrees.
It did, and we noticed a lot of different things. It literally, as I heard one expert say, felt like the middle of the night in the middle of the day. Here's a reminder. At this point, if you are outside viewing the eclipse, you do need to put your glasses back on. That time of totality, that 2 minutes and 30 seconds or so, is now over, and that was the only time it was safe not to wear your glasses. You must put them back on now to see the culmination, the complete picture, which should wrap up about 4:05, 4:06 this afternoon.
The next eclipse will be April 8th, 2024. You won't be able to see that one, though, here in South Carolina. Here in South Carolina, the next one will be 2045. So put on your glasses and enjoy the last several minutes of the eclipse.
Chief Meteorologist Jim Gandy is a NASA subject expert. And Jim, I heard you talking just a couple of minutes ago about what it looked like at Riverbank Zoo, and I could hear the emotion in your voice. Talk to me about your experience there.
You know, I'm not sure that I can because it's still a bit of an emotion. So I'm going to let somebody else talk about it right now because we had a lot of people here. We had over 8,000 people here at the zoo. And, of course, we've been talking to a lot of people, so I may be losing some of my voice a little bit. But I've got three that had come from Raleigh, North Carolina to view the eclipse. Can you give me your name?
My name is London Alexander.
Okay.
My name is Zoe Alexander. Piers Alexander.
Okay. Well, what did you think of the eclipse?
I thought it was cool because at the end it looked like a ring and like I saw a flash after it.
Wasn't that amazing to see the diamond ring effect? What were your thoughts?
It was like super cool when I had the eclipse glasses on and like I couldn't see anything, and then I took them off and I was like, oh my gosh, the moon is...
I know, and that was the reaction of everybody. Did you enjoy your first eclipse?
Yes.
Are you ready to see another one?
Yes.
Unfortunately, the next one in the country is another 7 years away, so this was bad. But yes, you know, I knew what to expect, and you know, for me, it just kind of took my breath away, and I still can't really talk and put it into words. So I'm going to toss it back to you.
All right, Jim, so much. It makes us so happy. You know, you got to know Jim Gandy is to love him. And the man loves science and has really dedicated his entire life to science and meteorology and everything that goes along with it. So for him, there's nothing bigger than this. I mean, it's his Super Bowl of his lifetime.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl of a lifetime.
Yeah, for more than 40 years, people across the country and now around the world have been counting on Jim Gandy to bring them information. You know, I hear people talk about Jim is the person who saved us during Hugo, and the list goes on and on and on and on of all the times that Jim Gandy has saved us. And so with him being a subject matter expert deemed by NASA, for him to be the person to be able to walk us through this once-in-a-lifetime occurrence, it's just fitting. And I understand why he would be so emotional, you know?
It was. And,
Right.
you know, we were super emotional here, too. You and I hugged each other, but then it started downpouring. So our viewing was cut a little bit short here. I was really surprised, though, when we were out out in the eclipse, I was really surprised at how it got still and dark and almost eerie feeling because it was the middle of the day, and you know it's not supposed to be dark like that.
Right. And some of you may be wondering, why did it not last any longer than that? Well, you got to bear in mind the moon was moving at 2,200 miles per hour, and so 2 minutes and 30 seconds or so was a nice little bit of time for us to enjoy that.
It was a nice time. That was our totality, and you can still get out there and enjoy the rest of it. But don't forget, like Darcy said, for the rest of the time, and we have about an hour left, you got to be wearing your glasses. We're going to take a quick break, though, and bring it back here for team coverage of the solar eclipse. Keep it here to News 19. All right, we are back. Thank you so much for keeping it here with us today for our team coverage here of the total solar eclipse. And Darcy, you know what? It was just amazing to watch. You know, you and I both said, oh, wait, I want to look. And then you have to stop yourself and remind yourself to put on your glasses. But what an amazing thing to get to look up and really see just the majesty and the power of it.
And so many people went to so many different places to watch it. So you got to see it at the Riverbank Zoo and Firefly Stadium. You got to see it at the State Fairgrounds and at Lake Murray. And so not only were you able to be there with your friends and your family, but you probably made a few more friends because you're there with people who want to experience the exact same thing that you want to.
Thousands of people around you. Could have been some dangerous moments on Lake Murray if you weren't careful because it got dark in the middle of the day, hoping everybody there stayed safe as they were boating around the lake. News 19's Janae Frazier has been out there all day, joining us now from Liberty on the Lake. Janae, what was it like out there on Lake Murray?
Ladies, it was amazing. It was so beautiful. I mean, it turned dark. You could feel the temperatures drop. I'm here with Jennifer. She is all the way from Texas. What did you think of it?
Absolutely amazing. I was loss of words. I can't even describe how awesome it was. It was totally dark. Everything got dark. Everybody was screaming and everybody was cheering on the, off of the balcony and the docks, and it was fantastic. It was amazing.
And you kind of have like an interesting family story about how everyone's here, right? Kind of tell us about that, how you're celebrating your dad's birthday.
It is my dad's 50th today. Happy birthday, Dad. I planned this out 3 years ago, and I've been waiting every day until this one eclipse just to bring my family from Michigan and him from North Carolina and myself from Texas just to be here for this one moment. It was unbelievable. It was worth every moment.
How do you think you're going to top it next year?
For 51, I'm not sure. We can work something out, but I think this is probably the best we could do. This is amazing, unbelievable, once in a lifetime chance.
What is your dad saying right now?
He is So excited, so happy, proud, loves it, happy.
But you're still in awe. Like, we're all like,
I am. It one time, you know, it's the perfect place. It was the most perfect timing in the sky. The clouds cleared up just for that one moment, and you won't see it like that again, I don't think. It was
awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, it was amazing. It left us speechless. And of course, we're going to stick around and continue to talk to people about what they thought. But for now, we're going to send it back to you.
Janae, thank you so much, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate your birthday.
Really, the eclipse happened just for your birthday, so you should feel really lucky about that.
You could say that.
About 2 minutes and 30 seconds, give or take a few, was how long we experienced totality. But I was surprised that the build up to it, the Bailey's beads and all of that, was as dark as it was.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that it was only going to be really dark during totality.
And it may have been on our side of town since we had clouds and we had rain. Some of you may have seen it just a little differently. But this is some video from earlier today. We're at the point now where the moon is moving away from the sun, so it will be getting larger. There really are no words. It's hard to believe. We make a living speaking and coming up with the right words at the right time, and I still have not been able to find the right word to describe this phenomena. I noticed one of my friends on Twitter tweeted out, oh gosh, I can't find it, but the end of it said, I thank God for letting me see this on this side of heaven.
Oh, that is a cool thought, Darcy. And here's with the filter on, the special filter, you can see there the corona. This is totality, that amazing moment that made the hair on the back of your neck stand up here in the Midlands. It lasted about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The longest totality for this eclipse is about 2 minutes and 41 seconds. And it was just absolutely incredible. No other words for it other than it was just incredible. If your screen goes dark, you are still looking at video, but that is what the totality looked like here in the Midlands for those of you who didn't have a downpour during that time.
And, you know, it's funny. We literally ran back in the building because of rain here at WLTX, but less than 5 miles away at the State Fairgrounds, Dion Guillory and the team there saw nothing but sunshine.
I don't know how it happened. Y'all were the lucky ones. Dion, tell us what you experienced.
Okay. Before I tell you what I experienced a few minutes ago, I'm telling you what I'm experiencing now. It is raining here now, and the people are leaving. Hey, they're saying the party's over, we're going home. We saw the total solar eclipse. We came, we saw, we conquered, so they're, you know, hitting the road. Lots of traffic, of course. But hey, I'm going to be totally honest. I was over the solar eclipse before it even happened, but being in the midst of it all, seeing it happen in person, it's unbelievable. Darcy, just like you said, you can't really find the words to explain what you saw. And so out here at the State Fairgrounds, everybody, as soon as it got dark, everybody yelled and screamed and was just full of excitement, and being able to see totality like that up close and personal, and everyone taking their glasses off and being able to watch the moon cover the sun like that, it was really amazing. And then just a couple of minutes later, the sun is back out, the moon is gone, and it was light again. And so it was really an amazing experience just to see that with all these friends, new friends I made here at the State Fairgrounds, and a lot of people just having to try to find different words to describe what they saw. You know, throughout the day we've been talking to people who said they came here from as far as Russia, Germany, and Sweden, and even someone from Puerto Rico, a couple of people from the Virgin Islands, who came here to South Carolina to see the total solar eclipse in all its glory, and we got through it. And so my question for you ladies, I know you guys ran in because there was some rain there, there's some rain here. I'm not melting, so it's all good. But have you seen the lizard man yet? That is my question to you.
That is a very good question. You know what? No, we are safe right now. There was a few sketchy characters around the WLTX viewing area, but I think they were just employees.
Or the ones that we're related to. Maybe the ones that we're related to.
Or those ones that were our spawn, our offspring.
Right. So if you're wondering why Dion brought up the lizard man, it's because the Emergency Management Division put out a tweet very tongue-in-cheek about the possibility of paranormal activity around the total solar eclipse. eclipse, I think it's safe to say nothing paranormal happened, at least not near WLTX. We didn't see a thing.
No special orbs opening up into
No.
another universe, another
No
dimensions.
aliens,
The
no.
little green men. What happened to Illinois' little green men? They were supposed to be here.
You know what? We got to check and see what happened in
We're
Illinois.
going to have to look in. We're going to have to look into that. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but keep it here. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
All right, folks, welcome back as we continue coverage of the solar eclipse 2017 here at WLTX. A huge part of the Midlands had 100% totality. And the parts that didn't, like Kershaw County and Lee County, only had 99%. But from what I'm seeing on Twitter, even that was an amazing sight.
Yeah, there were 10 states that line that we showed you on the map many times this week went straight through. South Carolina is one of them. It started in Greenville, and they got totality, and then came down here through the Midlands. So I hope you were able to view it and enjoy the special moment with your family. We would love to see your pictures. You can upload them to all of our different social media sites and share the moment with you. Darcy, what did you think of the moment?
I said this right before the commercial break. I still don't have any words. Just to imagine that we were able to see something that lots and lots of people have never experienced. And to just be able to share it with our viewers, you know.
And with our kids, because our kids were here too. That made it special.
Colleagues, our WLTX family is amazing. It just, as you said, it got very still. And at that moment, and silent, and at that moment, you just had to take it all in.
Yes, the sun 400 times larger than our moon, but lined up in just the right place so that our moon totally eclipsed the sun. J.R. Barry had a totally different experience. Our friend is out at the South Carolina State Fairgrounds with the thousands of people that showed up to watch it. J.R., what was the experience like for you?
I was hiding. I don't know. I have no clue. I was in hiding. When we last talked to you around 1 o'clock this afternoon, there was a lot of anticipation, a lot of buildup for this solar eclipse. And in the next hour and a half to 2 hours it transpired, that total eclipse has come and gone. A lot of wonder out here at the State Fairgrounds. Daniel from Charlotte still can't get over what he witnessed a short time ago.
It was amazing. It was probably like best 2 minutes I've experienced in a very long time. It's definitely on my list of things I would ask anybody to ever have a chance to experience.
And you know, when we were all out here, when the totality began, I mean, there was like a collective gasp out here.
Whoops, hollers, gasps. It was insane. It was intense. Yeah.
You ever been through anything like this before?
No, absolutely not. I mean, like you said, I'm from Charlotte. Luckily, I only had to drive an hour and a half down here to see it, but people sitting next to us were from Michigan. So there was quite a lot of folks that came out here to see it.
Right. I know you're happy you made that drive, because if you had stayed in Charlotte, you would have been at like 90% totality. You would not have seen the corona of the sun. You wouldn't have had that experience.
That is really what it's all about. My wife was in Charlotte. She wasn't able to make it down. So, you know, she and her friends got to go out and watch it. But really the totality and being able to look at it with your naked eye was crazy. It was amazing.
Daniel, thank you so very much. I don't know if we've had a chance to see the video. I think you see it on your screen right now. That is some video that our photographer Van Lott shot. That totality video. It's just amazing to see out here in person. And depending on where you were in the Midlands, I guess, depending on whether or not you could see it in full, we got lucky here, because just prior to totality, Darcy and Andrea, we had clouds, and it looked like, well, gosh darn, this is not going to work out. And then all of a sudden the clouds disappear. There was a big opening around the sun, so we got to see totality, and just almost immediately afterwards the clouds came back, and we've had a light drizzle ever since.
JR, you've got to tell us, why were you in hiding?
Oh, I'm joking. I wasn't in hiding. I just hadn't seen you in a couple hours, that's all.
Well, we are glad you are out of hiding, my friend, and there at the State Fairgrounds to enjoy it with everybody else. We'll check in with you in a little bit. Darcy, so much preparation went into this here in the Midlands. There were meetings from state government officials months ago, knowing that we were going to have an influx of people and trying to make sure that our infrastructure and everything was set up in place to make sure everybody was safe.
South Carolina Emergency Management Division is where we find News 19's Caleb Bennett with more on how they're preparing for everyone now to leave South Carolina.
Well, Andrea and Darcy, I'm not sure you guys have seen all of... Sorry, I had some feedback. You guys had some rain, but we had a clear view. I'm here with Derek Becker, the Chief PIO with the Emergency Management Division. I'm pretty sure I got that right. You did. It's a very long title. So tell me, you guys have been planning for this event since November. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've been planning since November with all of our partners, state agencies, just coming up with contingency plans. You know, we look at major emergencies generally, but there is an event planning part to emergency management. The procedures are the same. Our partners are still the same. We're still going to work with the Highway Patrol and Department of Transportation. But most of what we've been doing have been just contingency planning. You know, the what ifs. What if there's an emergency need at one of the 309 Eclipse events across the state? Are those lines of communication there from the event to the county emergency manager and back up here to the SCEMD?
And I know the totality of it all just ended, but obviously the partial eclipse is still going on. So I guess kind of how have things been up until this moment here?
Well, they've been about as what we expected. We did not expect any major issues around the state as a result of the eclipse. It's a fun event, but we knew there was going to be traffic. We knew it was going to be hot, and so we hope people prepared for that, and they gave themselves plenty of time. Our big concern right now will be, now that the eclipse is over and we're back in partial eclipse, they're going to get in their cars and try to head home, and they're all going to try and head home at once. No, stay where you are. Enjoy the experience a little bit longer. Just sort of get a sensing of how the traffic's moving, or if people are trying to leave right away, and just give yourself time to get home very safely.
And I know we were all outside the building kind of experiencing this moment. You saw it, I guess. What did you think of it?
Well, you know, this building has been through a lot over the last 3 years, from an ice storm to the flood in 2015 and then Hurricane Matthew. It was nice to be able to, you know, enjoy a fun experience and really kind of a magical experience with our extended SCEMD family here. So it just sort of puts things in perspective.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Derek. Thank you for allowing us to be here and watch you guys kind of in action.
Absolutely. Happy to do it.
All right, Andrea and Darcy, I'm going to send things back to you. Hopefully traffic won't be too bad, but we're going to hit the road and kind of hit those hot spots.
All right, Kayla, thank you so much. Yes, we knew that it's just a matter of time until all these folks, Darcy, that have come here to watch the eclipse got on the road. And unfortunately, we did just get word that there was an accident. If you're heading on 20 East, right near the 71-mile marker, there is an accident there in Richland County. A car has one lane blocked because of an accident. Trooper David Jones tells us that they do have crews on the scene. Use caution. So once again, already a blockage, 20 East, 71-mile marker.
And we're also learning at this point that there is congestion on I-77 headed north. As we told you earlier in our newscast, close to 500,000 people were expected to make their way to the Midlands in order to view the solar eclipse. So this is from the South Carolina Department of Public Safety's Twitter account. Congestion on I-77 headed north at the 12-mile marker. As you can see, visitors leaving Columbia and heading back to their corners of the world.
You know, the first contact point in the United States was hours ago in Government Point, Oregon, and the very last contact point will be here in South Carolina. It's at Key Bay, South Carolina. That is the last point that we will have contact with, or that the eclipse will have contact. You know, Darcy, though, the beginning and the after phases are kind of my favorite, I have to say. This is an incredible live look right now. That's Andy Peeler has a camera at the WLTX studios, and this is as the moon is slowly moving out of the way of the sun, and I love this view.
And this is the view, again, folks at home, that you must have your eclipse glasses on to look at. Don't look directly at the sun. But I can understand why this would be one of your favorite parts, Andrea.
It's one of the coolest parts.
It really is. It really is.
For Jim Gandy, this is just such a different experience because this is a man who has dedicated his entire life to science.
For more than 40 years, he's been a meteorologist, and for him, it's not just about the X's and O's of whether it's going to rain or whether it's going to snow, or but it's about the science, and it's about making sure he equips you, our viewers, with the information that you need in order to make good decisions for your family, just to be smart. You know, he wants everybody to understand the story behind weather. And when you talk about this eclipse, I can't think of anybody who would be more excited than Jim.
So we have got a couple moments that we captured of Jim reacting and showing his emotions about what the power and the majesty of this eclipse felt like for him.
Okay, man, jeez. You know, I've been doing this a long time, and
Nothing like that.
Nothing like it.
Ever. I think we both got pretty emotional there. Yeah. I'm still emotional right now. It was amazing. You saw it. Totality is completely different from 99%, which is where we were for a couple minutes there.
Back in 1970, I was 3% away from totality, but this time, it's hard to explain.
Yeah. It was one of those things you just had to be in the moment. I tried to take a picture with my phone. You know, it didn't work.
And the 2.5 minutes just went by so fast.
It did.
And we were just looking at everybody, trying to appreciate everything going on. It's just hard to put into words. Totality.
Yeah.
Well, let's get somebody else's reaction.
When can we see it again? Right. See our reaction.
Why don't you come here? Why don't you give us your name again?
Jasmine.
And what are your thoughts about totality?
I thought the eclipse was really cool.
Really cool. Are you ready to see another one?
Yes.
Oh man! How about how fast it got dark?
That was surprising because I didn't think it would get dark that fast.
No, I think we're going to find when the observing teams get their research that there were a lot of animals that weren't prepared for totality any more than we were.
Right, we thought we were prepared.
Thank you for coming by. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
You could just hear everyone cheering as right when totality began. You heard everyone cheering, everyone clapping, some oohs and ahs out 100%.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. And
I know that there are people that missed it because of the clouds, and it was always going to be a crapshoot around here because we knew it was going to be partly cloudy. We were always afraid that there would be enough buildups we were always afraid that there would be enough buildups that it would hide the eclipse from some people. But here at Riverbank Zoo, everyone saw it. Everybody saw total eclipse.
All right, Jim Gandy in a previously recorded interview with Lauren Thomas out at Riverbank Zoo.
As they were talking about the moment and the majesty and just how they were just breathtaking, just taken away at the sights there and the sounds. And News 19's Jim Gandy is still out at the Riverbank Zoo, where you're going to speak to an expert, Jim, about how the animals all reacted to this.
Well, you know, I did that interview with Adam Hartstone Rose both today and also last week about the project that they were involved in, and Adam's got some interesting results to talk about. I can tell you that personally we got to experience the sea lion reaction. And so, Adam, how did things go with the experiment today?
Well, here's the thing, Jim. I have to be completely honest with you. I didn't think we were really going to see very elaborate behavior from the animals. I thought that we might see some of the animals behave as if it was turning into evening time and sort of going over to their dens. And for some of the animals, we saw that. So, for instance, the gorillas, they climbed up over their hill and went and waited by the door as if it was the time for them to go to sleep. The elephants did something similar. But on almost all of the enclosures, we saw amazing behavior, outrageous behavior, behavior that has not been documented for some of these species before.
Well, I know that here at the Sea Lion exhibit, as soon as we got to totality, oh my goodness, they were just really carrying on down here. Of course, then so were the people that were in the plaza. Right. And the plaza was just full of people, and the reaction to that was pretty amazing.
So a lot of the behavior that I think we saw might have been triggered by the people that were around. So for instance, the most amazing thing that we saw was actually a behavior that is very normal from Siamangs. So the Siamangs are those little black apes on the islands over there, and they become really loud, and they have these calling bouts. And the calling bouts usually build up slowly and then last about 10 minutes as they kind of build down. And that's entirely normal. It happens kind of at random times during the day. It hasn't happened very much lately because it's been so hot that it seems like they've been quiet. But at about 15 minutes before totality, the Siamangs, that behavior started building up, okay? And they started feeling really anxious, or seemingly, they seemed really anxious. They started building up to this really ruckus call, and whereas normally it lasts about 10 minutes, it continued on up till totality. And so it lasted extra long, and then the most amazing thing happened. At exactly totality, they went dead silent, which, as far as I can tell, has never been documented for Siamangs. They always build up and then kind of slow back down and calm down. These guys, I don't know what was going through their heads, and of course we'll never know exactly, but it almost seemed like it became so strange that they just stopped and they went dead silent. We saw other amazing behavior. So the baboons, they got really anxious, and the males started running back and forth in their entire enclosure, and the dominant male started spinning around in circles on one of the structures in his enclosure.
That's just really amazing.
Crazy. So we saw one of the elephants. The keeper reported that she stood up real tall and kind of looked almost more agitated than normal, which is amazing.